Hey everybody, Dave here, Dave's Tractor up in Wasilla, Alaska. Been meaning to start making some informational videos for our customers here, and I'm out here working on a hydraulic update for a XJ series tractor, and I figure now was about as good a time as any to start putting some information out here for you guys. So basically what we've got, I don't know if I can flip you around here. Basically what you may have experienced is that there's a cap for one of your valves in the backhoe unit here that under the right conditions can basically overpressurize and blow out, and that is essentially caused by the way the hydraulic system is plumbed here. So most typically I found that if you are to engage the 3-point hitch raise lever here while the backhoe is hooked up, that is what is causing the overpressurization in your valve here. So what LS has done, they've just now come out with an update. So instead of having your lines hook up here the way they previously did, they have added a case drain, you can see there, that basically eliminates the hitch from the hydraulic loop once the backhoe is hooked up. So it eliminates that problem. So we have started an update. This is a brand new unit here, and we have started an update on this tractor here. So as you can see, it's a little bit easier if you just pull the seat off. 4 14mm nuts. Make sure you unplug your connector there so you don't rip that out. And then I'll add some specs on what fittings and everything you'd need for setting this up. You'd probably, depending on how long you've owned your tractor, you might want to start off by reaching out to your dealer. If you're under warranty, there's a good chance your dealer will just take care of this for you, so you don't have to scrounge up any parts on your own. But basically we've added this on this tractor already. I said I got started and decided I should go ahead and get a video for you guys here. But there's also going to be potentially on how your system is configured, there's going to be a couple lines that that you'll need to make sure are oriented correctly. So we will go through that in just a second here. Okay, so what I've done here is I've gone ahead and pulled the seat on the new XJ with the factory update already installed on it to make it a little clearer here how the correct routing of the hydraulic system needs to be set up. And I've gone ahead and marked these to help it make sense. So you've got this here, it's not really showing well, but that's a white mark I've put there. And so you're going to need to follow that coming off the top of that valve there, and that should be mating up over here on your loader valve to this port on your loader valve. So depending on how yours says set up right now, it might not be in this configuration. On the one we're working on over here, this line was not correct, so we are still working on a couple things here. But basically, if you look at this one, you can see that the port here should be going to this port on your valve. There's going to be several zip ties along the way that you may need to cut to get yourself the slack that you need to reroute that if it needs to be reconfigured. These lines should all be of sufficient length to be able to make these adjustments without needing any new hoses. So this is your line that's going to be going out powering your backhoe there, and as you can see, I've marked that red just to make it a little easier for you to see. And that one should be coming up here to the top of your loader valve, mating up with this port on the top of your loader valve. So this if you're looking at them, I can't do them side by side here, unfortunately, but if you're looking at the correct configuration on the new tractor, you can see that on this tractor that this port needs to get switched to here. So this short line will need to get switched and hooked up to here, and then this line here will need to get hooked to this port. And we've actually already swapped these connections on this one, so once we make the adjustment here, this one should be all set. So with this, depending on how your couplers are set up, you need to make sure that your backhoe is flowing the correct direction, that the fluid is flowing the correct direction through your backhoe. So once you do this update, depending on how these couplers were installed, you may possibly need to switch the male and female couplers on your backhoe to make sure that the fluid is flowing the right direction. But that will, once that's accomplished, it will eliminate the issue with the valve blowing out in your backhoe here, and save you some headache and mess cleanup when those blow out like that. Like I said, I'll post some more technical details in the comments about what specific fittings you'll need for this, what ISO coupler you'll need for that. But it's pretty straightforward. If you have even a small mechanical ability, you should be able to accomplish this fairly easily. Just make sure when you are reconfiguring these lines, just make sure that you positively trace them back. Sometimes when they're going through in a bundle like this, if you take your hand off of it for a second when you're following it, you end up on a different hose. So just be real sure that you follow the hose back to the spot that you think it's going. Maybe double check it if you're not sure. But pretty simple update, and yeah, we're pretty glad that they've settled on a fix for this issue. So if you have any questions, feel free to shoot them to us, and we'll answer them the best we can for you. Okay, a couple little last minute side notes here. When you are switching these lines, if you have the other configuration and need to swap these, as you can see, this is a male pipe fitting that was here. So these 90-degree elbows, if you need to reconfigure your lines, you will most likely have to swap these. This is a JIC fitting, and this is a male pipe fitting. So the threads on the ports are the same. It's the same type fitting on there. So you can swap those to do your line swap there. And then on this tractor, this line was pretty snug. So this is the same line that they use on the new one. It just happened that that one sat a little tighter. So you don't really want to pry on this, but if this is pressed really hard right up against there, you may want to kind of massage this up a little bit. I wouldn't use any hard pry tools, but if you kind of gently reorient it, you should be all set. But if that is contacting on there, the vibration from the tractor is going to create a leak for you pretty quickly. So definitely make sure that that's not rubbing right on that fitting. So other than that, we have fired this up and tested the backhoe, and everything is working perfect. I would show you that here, but the noise would drown me out.